Can I ask quickly outside of property? I know we're in property, then you were just talking about investments and where to go. What other investments do you look at around the place that you keep an eye on? Your shares or Bitcoin or crypto, Bitcoin?
Well, so if you ask the crypto question,
I was just all
I'm not an expert there at all, but I would always look at any kind of investment at where could this go? Where is the moon? And could this go to zero? And it's utterly plausible in my absolutely unknowledgeable mind that cryptocurrency, something like Bitcoin, could go to zero.
Yeah.
You believe it or you don't believe it?
I think it is plausible
Okay.
that it could go. So there is a massive risk investigated in it because it can go to zero. If I imagine a supercomputer that can all of a sudden decrypt a cryptocurrency, this thing becomes essentially worthless.
Mm.
And so there is a risk. Maybe some technical guys will throw into the comments why I'm very, very wrong about this. But of course, it's a limited currency that at the moment everyone tries to believe in. You have massive institutions investing in it. So you have more and more centralized investors buying it, even though it's a decentralized currency. So the market wants it to be expensive. Yeah. And so I'd say, well, you probably can be part of this ride and make a good buck with it. But at the moment, most people playing in this field are what I would consider squiggly line investors. They only want the squiggly line to go up and then make a good buck out of it. There are, of course, some true crypto believers who tell you about this is a decentralized money system and it's wonderful and so forth. But ultimately, the way that I'm seeing crypto being used outside of investment, it's rather dodgy. It's still used to wash money. It's still for illegal transactions and so forth. So I'm not convinced on it just yet. Will it go up? Probably. But again, that is the most unknowledgeable person that you will ever have on the podcast talking about this. But I just always like the idea, can something go to zero? And the property investment probably won't go to zero, for example. Yeah, so that's, I quite like,
So you're thinking in the worst case scenario, what's it backed by? Like property's always going to have a value because it's an asset. It is something. It's a physical form. It's land. Whereas a crypto is not. That's your thought
it's not,
process behind
the
that.
worst case scenario is it is absolutely nothing and it is worth zero. So that can happen. So I like the general investment advice of say, invest as much in crypto as you are comfortable losing. Right? So if it is $10,000 that you're willing to lose, throw that into crypto. If it is $100,000 that you're happy to lose, do that. If it then accrues wealth and makes you beautifully rich, well done. And so I think that's the idea of investments, is that you know that you have no right for this investment to go up. You are gambling on the future, and your gamble of the future, you need to have a certain kind of range of scenarios that you consider. And for example, I think one mistake that we make in investments, if I think that's something like property, is that we think we have a right for this investment to go up. You don't. You think, and I think rightfully so, that you say this investment will go up in value. So that's a good investment then. But to be all sad and cry when your investment goes down, that makes no sense to me. Because this just means that you misread the political environment. And then you just suck as an investor and you just need to suck it up and deal with it. But so the kind of entitlement that you have in an investment, you say, but the government better make sure that my investment is, I think that's pathetic. This is you reading the future. It is a rather big thing. You're like, well, I buy Coca-Cola share because I think I like this drink and many people do too. And so this should be worth something. That's fair, but don't cry if all of a sudden Coke goes broke.
So a bit of a sideways question. I just wanted to see your thoughts on it.